Hey, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Lookout. Today is the 12th of September, and we're going to talk about the Mosquito Fire. We've been reporting on this fire for about a week, and want to just kind of give you an update on what's happening overnight. They flew the fire last night at about 2 in the morning, and it was pretty cloudy, which interferes with the infrared sensors, so they weren't able to image the entire fire. But we got some mapping that we can share. If you're just joining us for the first time, my name is Zeke Lunder. We run The Lookout based out of Chico, California. I'm a wildfire analyst. I've been working in wildfire and mapping and fire intelligence since the late 90s. And The Lookout is kind of a educational project to help people understand better how fire works on the landscape and how we fight it. And also we talk about prescribed burning and forest management. And kind of the goal of The Lookout is to help people understand more about what's going on with fires and with forestry and forest management so we can all get better at living with it. We're going to start off this morning with just quick review of the maps and jump right in here, give people some context. So the fire's burning. Sacramento's down here in the bottom. Truckee's over here. South Lake Tahoe. Grass Valley. So it's about 35 miles from Truckee. The fire hasn't spread much more than a mile or so in the last day towards Truckee. It's still about 10 miles away from Georgetown, a little less, and fire on that side is really pretty wrapped up, and in kind of a lot of it's in a mop-up phase. So we're going to go to the areas that are still kind of in play here on the fire and talk about what the tactics and strategy are. Coming in, you can see that the fire is surrounded by these blue shapes, and those shapes are fires that have happened in the past about 10 years. So we've got Foresthill over here. We've got Highway 50 corridor kind of off to our right, Highway 80 out here. So we got the King Fire that burned in 2014, and we got the American Fire that burned in 2013, and we got the 2016 Trailhead Fire. So someone asked me to be more brief. I guess they're a busy person that doesn't have time to spend half an hour watching a video. So the brief synopsis here is looking over Forest Hill. They fired down this ridge night before last, or they finished firing, and that's all still holding. They've been bringing fire down from Volcanoville down this ridge. And yesterday we showed some videos in our last night's video of the fire spreading down along here, and they're firing still to keep ahead of this fire that's out in here. And so these orange lines are kind of the approximation that the infrared mapper people had last night. They couldn't see everything, but they just kind of drew these scattered orange lines where they could see heat through the clouds. So last night they were firing down this ridge and trying to keep ahead of what's going on in here. So we'll jump real quick to an animation of that from the webcams. You can't really see much. It's just kind of more like abstract art, but give you an idea of what's going on. Let's see, here's going into sunset, looking straight across from Forest Hill, and things look a lot more gnarly on the infrared at night than they really are. What's interesting here overnight is you can just kind of see there's some flare-ups, but this is 10 p.m. and really overnight you see the hour by hour, you see the fire behavior really moderate and just kind of the smoke settles in here. You got downslope canyon winds, and by midnight the fire is way less intense. It's just kind of creeping around. And so we talked last night about how sometimes you can't fire all the way through the night because the fire you put on the ground just doesn't burn. So this is just kind of illustrating that by 2:30 in the morning, what was really burning fairly intensely at sunset is just barely kind of skunking around. So this is real typical of backing fires at night. And there's a lot of kind of scrubby oak and everything in here and it's really steep. So, a lot of the stuff just kind of like oak litter and stuff just slides downhill. And so that's kind of, as of 6 in the morning, it's just smoked in and the fire's kind of puttered out in there. It'll flare up plenty good this afternoon. So that's going to be, we're getting a shift now in the weather, and the smoke's lifting out, and we're going to get what we call ventilation, where there's going to be more flow of wind up the canyons. And so this portion here is going to be pretty visible, and it's going to be active today. And this is the last kind of active piece on this whole kind of front of the fire. Everything from here out up from Forest Hill is pretty much tidied up until you get to where they're firing. So that's the other action overnight, is the 2 a.m. Infrared caught them firing here on kind of Chicken Hawk Ridge, and they're just trying to keep ahead of the fire that's out here. And you can see we're showing the infrared satellite dots just because sometimes they're all we've got, and they kind of go along with this orange line, which is what the infrared plane mapped at 2 in the morning. So we're just continuing to see each one of these lines is a mapping flight. Sometimes they're a day apart, sometimes they're closer, and they just show you kind of the steady progression of the fire up, chewing steadily through these canyons. So we're supposed to just have kind of average winds, but more ventilation. And so these, in places where the winds are going to hit the fire, we're going to continue to have significant potential for runs in places with heavy contiguous fuels. They're prepping these roads. It seems pretty likely to me at this point that the box of the fire is going to probably get it well out into, probably include the entire American fire. It'll be interesting to see what happens when the fire gets into this 9-year-old burn and how it carries. We always learn something new about fire behavior in previous burn scars when it happens. Someone's been asking about the Placer County trees, the Big Trees Grove. I don't know much. I haven't been on the ground out there, but and I know that that's a priority for the firefighters to try to mitigate fire in there. So, it may be that they put, as the fire approaches, they may put fire on the ground in here under good kind of overnight conditions to try to do a prescribed burn, basically, ahead of the fire getting here. If they don't do anything like that to alter the flow of the fire's likely going to come up these canyons in the afternoon as part of a big run, and we'll have a lot of mortality. So I'm hoping that the team is planning some sort of tactical ecological firing in here. I don't know what their plans are there, but just letting the fire run up there on its own volition is not going to, it increases the likelihood of a negative outcome. And so that's about all we have right now. The VERS shows the fire's kind of reaching some private lands here. Obviously, the people who own this private timberland don't want the fire on their land, but there's not a lot of options. They can come and they can put dozer line through here and keep, halt the spread of the fire coming up the ridge, but they can't really halt the spread of the fire up from the canyon. There's no real tactical opportunity in here. So we'll watch the next couple of days and see how fire moves through here. Obviously, the landowner would like the fire not to spread through their land, and that doesn't really change the geography, which is really dictating what the options are for firefighting. Coming around the south end of the fire did jump across the Rubicon day before yesterday and made a 200-acre run, and that's spread a little. And we don't really have much other intel here because the IR flight didn't get it, but this has all been cooled off, and quite a bit of this is showing up as black on the operations map. So as far as I hear, I haven't heard anything new from our folks on the ground, our contacts, that suggests that anything has really changed that beyond this being cooling down and in a mop-up phase. So we'll be keeping our ears open for that, and we'll let you know if we hear anything. But so far, so good. Don't really have any new intel for you on the Mountain Fire or the Cedar Creek Fire. Both those fires, as of this morning, haven't been flown overnight, so we don't have anything new since our videos last night on that. We did check out the webcams out of Wairika this morning, and you can see active fire spread overnight on Antelope Mountain. Let's do the 12-hour loop here. In our last night's video, kind of showed this this afternoon fire burning until sundown, and then so now we've just got kind of an overnight shot, and you can't see a whole lot going on here except that we still have on the top of the slope active burning overnight and kind of just scattered fire down slope. And also, as in the American River Canyon, you can kind of see the fire activity kind of start to wane pretty significantly after midnight. So right here is about 11. So we'll let you know if they fly this with IR today. We'll have an update tonight. If we don't get any new intel throughout the day today, we might not do a live stream tonight. But as long as there's, if there's stuff that happens and we can get intel on it, we'll share it with you. But we're not going to do an update just to do an update. Anyway, sun's about to come up on this in this imagery, and you see the fire. There's parts of it that burn straight through the night. You can also see, real movement of the weather aloft, and sun's rising, lots of smoke, and things are pretty moderate. So that's it for now. Appreciate your support, and we're working on tuning up the live stream capabilities. Love doing them, love talking to you all, but it kills me to fight a computer that's getting overloaded or anything. I can't really think and problem solve and talk to you all at the same time. So gonna keep doing recorded ones for now until we got it stable, just because it's not a lot of fun I feel like I'm standing on a podium in front of 1,000 people with a broken PowerPoint or something. So we'll catch up with you as soon as that's all stabilized. Thanks for your interest and support. Bye. And make sure you check out the lookout.org. That's our website.